Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your spoilers for SmackDown, Superstars, Saturday Morning Slam, and also the WWE main event from last night. And here's some news going on around the world. UWE presents the Wrestling Superstar Showdown, November 23rd and 24th. At Dreammakers Theater in Stephen Marie, or something like that, Michigan. Some of the wrestlers scheduled to appear are Powers of Pain, that's Barbarian and Warlord, Demolition Axe and Smash, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Billy the One Gun, Scotty 2 Hottie, Rikishi, Rhino, Al Snow, ODB from TNA, and Sean DeVary. You can get more details at Universal, that's UNIVERSYL Wrestling.com. 2Fab.com has posted pictures of former WWE diva Stacy Keibler from her high school yearbook. Keibler, who attended Catholic school, was a cheerleader and played soccer for her school. You can view photos, which never really show her in the Catholic schoolgirl outfit, at 2fab.com/2012/10/19 /Stacy Keibler Catholic schoolgirl yearbook photos. I'll get with you in a minute. Had a door, knocking on the door. Wrestling legend superstar Bill Dundee, a.k.a. William Cruikshanks, turned 69 years old yesterday. Dundee had many runs across many different territories as both a wrestler and a manager, but is probably the best known as Jerry the King Lawler's tag team partner when they won the AWA Tag Team Championships. One of WCW's oddest gimmicks, the Kiss Demon, a.k.a. Dale Torborg, turned 41. Even though his run in wrestling was a flop, Torborg has had success as a strength trainer in Major League Baseball, working with 2 World Series champions. The advertised dark match from Tuesday's taping was Sheamus versus Big Show for the World Heavyweight Championship, according to the Ticketmaster site. For the venue, Raw Dark Match event was Sheamus versus Big Show in a last man standing match, with Sheamus winning in a 2-minute match, and that thanks to readers who sent in the results from last night. They didn't give their names, so if they don't give the name, they won't get credit. People close to Ric Flair are saying that he will be returning to WWE at the October 29th Raw for Charlotte, North Carolina. Being that it is Flair country, the belief is he will be getting involved in a storyline with AJ Lee, Vicky Guerrero, and John Cena. And Santana Morales and John Cena. We've noted before that they've had rumblings of Flair returning, but the lawsuit from TNA was preventing that. Flair has canceled at least one upcoming independent wrestling appearance that was booked in North Carolina. And another appearance by Heather. New details are coming out about the Undertaker's status for WrestleMania 29, and it said that the dead man is not in good shape at all. One thing wasn't reported after his WrestleMania match with Triple H this year is that his hip replacement he had a few years ago back was damaged pretty bad. There is talk of some of the surgical work he has done over the past few years is really beat up to the point that he's back to square one. Taker has been going to see specialists in New York, but he is so beat up now that the WWE has been flying doctors to his home in Texas instead. And for those that don't know that he is a some type of police officer or investigator in the hometown of Houston, Texas. There is also a lot of talk within WWE if he does end up doing anything at WrestleMania 29, it likely won't be a big-time physical match like we are used to. As we have noted, there was talk of having Taker work the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant with the idea that he can do a few memorable spots before being eliminated himself. Right now, The Undertaker is not being figured into any major WrestleMania plans internally. The feeling is that if he wants to do it and feels like he can do it, they will make room for him. It wouldn't be the first time that but it's possible that you could see Undertaker skip a WrestleMania in 2013. Some people within WWE are under the impression that the end of an era hype for this year's WrestleMania against Triple H really was the end as far as big-time WrestleMania matches for The Undertaker goes. Raw's managing supervisor, Vicky Pinky Guerrero, who was appointed the position on Monday's show after AJ Lee decided to step down as brand general manager by the WWE Board of Directors for allegedly fraternizing with John Cena, is furthering the storyline on Twitter after announcing that she will go on hand for Raw's entire tour of the United Kingdom next month. She tweeted Wednesday morning that, "How rude of me. I keep thanking at WWE AJ Lee for my new success, but I am sending a special thank you to at John Cena. Hashtag Cougar in charge." John Cena has responded to a remark shortly thereafter, tweeting, "Bit of advice at excuse me, WWE. I know you are proud of your actions, but if you want to run your mouth about me, it won't work. Ask at The Rock." As the storyline goes, Guerrero claimed to the WWE Board of Directors that Lee and Cena had a business dinner, and Lee decided not to fight the accusations to avoid dragging Cena's name through the mud. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has weighed in on the matter as well, tweeting in response to Cena's remark, "At John Cena, at excuse me WWE, at WWE, where do you take at AJ Lee for your business dinner? Golden Corral? McDonald's?" And hashtag cheap jabroni. Local advertisement for the 2012 WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view teases that the main event will be John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE title. Also, advertisements indicate that Ryback and Big Show may be the team captains for traditional Survivor Series team elimination matches. Beth Phoenix, whose run with WWE has ended, wrote the following message on Twitter. "Good morning, world. Prepare to be owned. That is all." Hashtag Glamazon. TNA talent Wes Brisco has been hospitalized for a few days now, according to his Twitter account. He noted back on October 20th that his kidneys stopped working. His father, Gerald Brisco, who was with WWE, noted that he was suffering from dehydration. At Monday's Raw broadcast at the Izod Center in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as they went off the air, this is what happened after the show. Sheamus recovered from his pinfall loss to CM Punk to challenge Big Show to a last man standing match. The world's largest athlete refused to participate in the match, saying it wouldn't be fair for Sheamus and that the audience didn't deserve to see him wrestle. The two brawled after Sheamus called Big Show yellow, with the bout culminating with a brogue kick. Randy Orton was among the Lumberjacks advertised in WWE's promotional graphic on Raw for the CM Punk vs. Sheamus match, but did not appear. But there was also somebody else that had returned in his spot. Orton noted on Twitter in the morning that the production for 12 rounds, reloaded in Vancouver, British Columbia, wrapped up the night before. Orton will be on hand for tonight. Was on hand for the SmackDown taping in Providence, Rhode Island. Meanwhile, Mason Ryan, he was the one appearing on TV. He hasn't appeared on TV since May. He resurfaced during the Lumberjack match. Betty Scollin, widow of the late WWE Hall of Famer Arnold Scollin, was seated in the front row at Monday's Raw when they were doing the celebrities. Also in attendance was Gioni Lavelle, boyfriend of WrestleMania celebrity Snooki, and players from the New York Giants and the New York Jets as well. New Jersey independent wrestler Starman showed up at Raw in the crowd lap from Raw and was quickly escorted out by security after he was trying to get some publicity. WWE nicked some parts out of Raw on Raw to save time, but ended up with too much time as the lumberjack match went on before they originally planned it for. Apparently, backstage segments, ring entrances, a 3MB segment, and a 10-time match were edited off. Thank God for the 3MD exit or edit. Former WWE Tag Women's Champion Sable, 45, is now a grandmother. Her daughter, who is in her early 20s, gave birth to a child in September, as reported by her website, RenaLesnar.net. So, what's that make Brock? A granddad too? NWA Action is holding October Havoc at the Stockbridge Middle School in Stockbridge, Georgia, this Saturday, October 27th, with a bell time of 7:30. The flyer hypes 4 former WWE stars as being on the show, but only Buff Bagwell and Luke Gallows are mentioned by name. You can view more at the NWAAction.com. The Harris brothers, Ron and Don, both turned 51 on Tuesday. The team have had run-ins every major promotion from the 1990s through today, but are probably best known for their time as Creative Control in WCW, a spoof on WWE's Pat Patterson and Gerald Brisco. There was a moment before last night's SmackDown Tuesday SmackDown taping in Providence, Rhode Island, where JBL had the crowd chanting his name. Well, just briefly, the referees were changing over the ropes for SmackDown when JBL began ripping into them for taking too long. And there's a YouTube video on this. YouTube.com/watch ? Feature equals player _ embedded, the ampersand sign. The V equals 6x9 QGP4MYVK. Recently signed fitness model Alicia Sarasol to a developmental deal. She has been training at developmental and can be found on Twitter at The Real Danny, WWE. AJ Lee is scheduled to appear on Raw over the next few weeks at least. So she's not going to be removed from the TV, despite the general manager storyline where she has resigned. Dragon Gate USA wrestler Sami Callihan wrestled a dark match before last night's WWE tapings and Tuesday night's tapings in Providence. Thanks to F4WOnline.com reports that Callihan received good reviews as far as the selling goes. They added that he did promo work for the agents backstage, but his size and his look is a little bit concerned. WWE main event aired last night on the ION Network. That's channel 178 on Comcast, for those that don't know. The show featured Ryback versus Dolph Ziggler and continued to warm up for Hell in a Cell. And the following matches were taped on Tuesday, Providence, Rhode Island, for the main event TV show. Ryback defeated Dolph Ziggler. Alberto Del Rio defeated Sin Cara. Superstars matches were taped for October 22nd. That's tonight. From the Raw version, Usos defeated Primetime Players. Uso won with a frog splash. The reporter said that named John said that the crowd was into it and it was good showing from the Usos. Match number 2, Jinder Mahal defeated Tyson Kidd, and the reporter said that the crowd was dead throughout that even though the 3MD were doing their best to draw cheap heat. So that's only 2 matches I got from that one. Saturday Morning Slam results for spoilers for this coming Saturday. Match number 1, R-Truth defeated William Regal. Truth won with a roll-up. Kid style match, no shots to the head. At one point, Regal took a bump from Little Jimmy. Silly stuff. Match number 2, Kofi Kingston defeated Zack Ryder. Kingston won with a diving crossbody. Another kid match, nothing special. A fan gives us thoughts on the Go Home show for Hell in a Cell. That will air this Friday, October 26, 2012 on Sci-Fi. SmackDown spoilers. They said JBL made his entrance to the ring, and the reporter said that he looks good for not wrestling for a long time. The turnover time from Saturday Morning Slam to SmackDown was taking a little too long, so JBL decided to scold and haze the referees that were setting the ring up. It was quite funny, and like I said earlier, there's a video showing of it. The show started off with Randy Orton cutting a promo on Hell in a Cell and what he would do to ADR. ADR came out and said that he is the new apex predator of the WWE. I found this odd to start the show leading up to Hell in a Cell with a mid-card bout, but this match was my sleeper pick as the best match of the night. Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler, my favorite wrestler, according to the reporter, in my opinion, stole the show at Night of Champions in Boston. Alright, they said the first match was Kane versus Cody. I was a little annoyed that I saw Damien Sandow and Daniel Bryan walk down to the ramp while the show was not being taped. The two of them probably the best ring introduction in the WWE as of right now. This is just obvious that they were doing or going to wrestle later on in the night. Both men get an equal amount of offense, but at the end it was Kane who hit the chokeslam and drove Cody Rhodes almost through the mat. Kane picked up the victory. Match number 2, The Miz versus Yoshitatsu. and he's Yoshitatsu. If you've played the WWE 12 game, he's the champion of champions champion. The people behind the reporter actually thought that Tatsu was going to win the match. I think the Brooklyn Brawler had more offense in one match than Yoshitatsu ever has had. There's my rant. Miz won with a skull-crushing finale. Funny thing about the match is that I bet the guy $5 next to me that the Miz was on the real world years ago. He thought it was another wrestler. And I bought myself some popcorn with the winnings. Booker T had a meeting with the ever so popular and growing Divas division. The mystery from Night of Champions was brought up. So Booker T decided to create a triple threat match for Hell in a Cell. Meanwhile, the city of Providence was in for a treat when he booked Layla and Caitlyn versus Eve and Oksana for later on in the night. I figured that's when I can use my bathroom break. Match number 3, Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. I thought this was going to be the best match of the night because of the past that these two guys have had together. This ended up being the best match of the night. In my opinion, there was a great amount of offense by both wrestlers. The crowd was really hot into it with Randy Orton and his signature moves. Later on in the match, when it seemed like Orton was going to win, Alberto Del Rio came down and distracted Orton, causing Wade Barrett to snap on his finisher for the win. Damien Sandow versus Daniel Bryan. Personally think that Daniel Bryan is hilarious to watch, especially live. The crowd reacts to him the most out of anyone on the roster. Everyone in the arena was doing either the yes or no chant. I call it the Borgasm. Out comes Sandow, who shares a small state of Rhode Island with some useful knowledge. I was looking around the arena and I counted 2 people who was supporting Sandow. That's the next shirt that I'm buying, according to the reporter. With Kane and Cody Rhodes ringside for the match, both wrestlers got a good amount of offense in. With Daniel Bryan using a good amount of submission moves on Sandow, the action led to the outside, which caused a distraction from outside. Cody Rhodes attacked Daniel Bryan, And Sandow took enough attention out of Kane to hit the neck breaker on Bryan in the center of the ring, which was Crossroads. Match number 5, the Divas Tag Team match. Facebook, check, and bathroom break. Two girls won. Didn't say which one. That's why I'm giving 2 reports on this. Final promo of the night was Big Show and Sheamus facing in the center of the ring. The ring was filled with 12 security guards. They are not really security guards, more like WWE developmental wrestlers. The Big Show talked about how his finisher is better than legends such as Rock, Austin, and John Cena. Sheamus returned, saying that it may take him 10 or 20 brogue kicks, but he will get the job done and knock down the Giant. His face turned as red as a tomato when he was cutting the promo and decided to spear through the entire line of security guards to squash the Giant. After getting separated, Big Show and Sheamus acted like a tag team and got rid of all the security guards. There were some brogue kicks, AWMD thrown. Alone in the ring, Sheamus was about to brogue kick Big Show, and the big guy slid under the ropes very quickly, and that concluded the taping. Overall, the reporter thought it was a good go-home show for SmackDown. I'm happy that the show was focused on SmackDown stars only, and there were no thoughts of AJ or John Cena. This was the second SmackDown show that the reporter has seen and has been to in 5 months, and it was pretty good. The dark main event match from SmackDown saw Sheamus defeating Big Show in a last man standing match. After several 9 counts, the end came when Sheamus connected with a brogue kick straight to the face, and Show couldn't get up. Well, during some of the events that were going on in the arena, WWE began setting up toy areas in the arenas, and they're running in this week to prepare for the upcoming holiday season. One reporter named Mark sent word that several Mattel toys and the WWE 13 video game was set up to play with in the lobby of the Dunkin' Donuts Center at SmackDown tapings. And here's a dark match prior to SmackDown results. Johnny Curtis defeated Sami Callihan. Johnny came out sporting a new look. After the match, he placed a rose on Callahan's chest. And here's the second report for SmackDown, airing this Friday. SmackDown opened up with Randy Orton cutting a promo on Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio comes out and they argue. Wade Barrett attacks Orton from behind and escapes. Teddy Long announces Barrett versus Orton for tonight's main event. As you see, it's already a little bit different from the one earlier. Kane beat Cody Rhodes with Damian Sandow and Daniel Bryan on commentary. They had a backstage segment with Big Show and Booker T. The Miz had a match against Yoshitatsu and won. Booker T had gathered Eve Torres, Oksana, Layla, and Caitlyn backstage. Oksana says Eve made her attack Caitlyn. Teddy comes in and chimes in. Booker announces Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn for Hell in a Cell, and Eve and Oksana versus Layla and Caitlyn for tonight. Wade Barrett defeated Randy Orton in the next match after distraction from Alberto Del Rio. Well, John Cena addressing the AJ Lee controversy is announced for Hell in a Cell on the YouTube pre-show. Backstage segment with Sheamus and Booker T. Damian Sandow defeated Daniel Bryan with Kane and Cody on commentary. Then there was a big brawl at ringside. Sheamus, Big Show, and Josh Matthews do a face-off. In the ring for Hell in a Cell, there are a dozen or so security guards around the ring to cut promos on each other until Sheamus broke through security and attacked Big Show. Security got involved, but Show and Sheamus cleared the ring. Sheamus went for a brogue kick on Show, but he escaped the ring and left up the ramp laughing. Sheamus hit the brogue kick on one of the security guards to end the show. Well, I wonder if he's going to get reprimanded for that. After all, he's done hit a couple of referees before with a brogue kick. Well, let's see what happens after that. Well, this time it's a security guard. So somewhat beat it. Well, I did get news earlier today that I won't be making the event for SmackDown via the security myself, as we got turned down. Our little group got turned down. My wrestling buddy that I will be debuting with canceled it. So, anyways, well, I'll just buy my ticket, watch it, and give the results myself. Well, that's my results for this week. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Impact results after it ends. Thank you, and have a great week.